Hey guys, it's Pikachu. Thanks so much for coming back to my channel. Today's video will be different from my other videos because it will address the very serious topic of hacking within Arena of Valor. Before I get started, I'd just like to state that the purpose of this video is not only to raise awareness of the issue, but also to put forward my own proposed solutions to the issue of hacking. This video will explain how hacking came to be, the current state of AOV in regards to hacking, and conclude with my own proposed solutions to prevent hacking. With the release of the Beta 32 patch for Arena of Valor, I was sorely disappointed to see that all the hype about banning the map hack was indeed untrue, and at the very bare minimum, untrue for the Asia AOV server. In this video, I wanted to take a look at the issue of hacking primarily affecting the Teamy AOV servers that was rumored to be fixed in the newest patch. Hacking obviously has real in-game implications such as losing a star, but the real downsides of using hacks go far beyond a single factor due to the negative network effects. To be clear, I believe that posting a video on a public forum purely focused on criticizing Arena of Valor is neither going to be constructive nor effective in terms of achieving my ultimate goal, which is to provide potential improvements that hold win-win scenarios for both developers and players. Therefore, I'd like to remind you all that this video is not meant to be a one-sided criticism on Arena of Valor. Now, before we can properly address the issue of hacking in a pragmatic way, context is necessary to understand how and why the problem exists. I think that the answer may very well surprise a large majority of you watching today. Players no doubt see games as a form of entertainment, and in the best case scenario, these players will enjoy the game so much that they habitually play it. Therefore, when obvious problems such as bugs and hacks are present, players naturally become very frustrated. The ability to respond to such issues take both money and attention, and it does take someone with real authority and oversight to be able to fix them. However, these creators need to care enough and need to see this game as having attractive revenue and profitability markers to continuously invest money to fixing the game. In this regard, my fellow AOV lovers and I have encountered our first roadblock. In May of 2019, a Tencent executive accidentally leaked in an interview that the company has decided to let Arena of Valor, quote, live or die on its own, end quote. This conclusion was not only heartbreaking but also inevitable, as the Chinese version of Arena of Valor raked in an annual revenue of $300 million in 2019 with daily active users of over 100 million people. By contrast, the Arena of Valor Teamy servers supposedly only had 250,000 daily active users in 2019 on the USA and EU servers combined, with unclear growth indicators from that point forward. My best educated guess is that Tencent foresaw the life cycle of Teamy's Arena of Valor and as a game nearing the end of its life cycle, and decided to maximize profitability, thereby reconstructing their resources, leaving Arena of Valor with the bare minimum of resources to function. With this background information in mind, I wanted to provide equitable solutions towards eliminating hacking in terms of both money and time. Now let's define the problem. Let's take a quick crash course on hacking to better develop a reasonable set of expectations towards solutions. So, what really is hacking? Hacking is essentially reverse engineering an application to infiltrate and oftentimes modify its contents. Using a combination of methods such as memory searching, repackaging, and the use of common third-party hacking tools along with rooted devices, hackers can essentially do everything from acquiring 1 million gold to infinite vouchers to damage immunity. These modifications and opportunities are really endless. Overall, the truth is, without proper care and maintenance in a game, hacking a game like Arena of Valor can be as easy as taking candy from a baby. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Well, I think it's better to ask a question to the Teamy server players. Guys, when we refer to hacking in Arena of Valor or call someone out for hacking, what type of hack do we automatically assume they're using? Unequivocally, it's the map hack. Strange, isn't it? Due to the severity of the problem, experienced AoV players know how bad the extent of hacking is when it comes to map hacking, and most of them have given up on the issue being addressed across all servers. Yet, only one type of hacking is popular: the map hack. The answer to this discrepancy is that AoV does actually ban hacking and have developed more than sufficient defensive methods for certain hacks. For example, many users have said that as soon as they use the specific type of hack that allows them to get maximum amount of gold within 1 second, their account becomes banned. The issue seems to lie in how AoV prioritizes their resources and the unknown relationship between AoV, Teamy, Tencent, and Garena. Now, let's look at this from a company perspective. To protect your profits, naturally your first priority would be to absolutely root out hacks that grant infinite gold and infinite vouchers, as players will definitely spend no money on the game if such hacks became popular. Then, you would focus on making measures against hacks that grant complete damage immunity, zero cooldown, and so on and so forth that would blatantly represent a broken game, thus completely disincentivizing any type of gameplay. However, what we notice here is that AoV does ban hacks that give infinite gold and infinite vouchers. And as I mentioned before, many players who have tried such hacks did become banned instantly after attempting it. The overwhelming truth is, AoV does indeed spend resources that combat hacking. However, the specific process that they use to do so is unknown. Since patches directly come from Garena, are hacking countermeasures directly copied and modified slightly for Teamy servers? Is Teamy simply a subsidiary company of Tencent with little to no decision-making power, thus making it impossible to outsource to third-party anti-hacking services, or is there simply not enough money to justify the cost of competent countermeasures for map hacks specifically? Keeping in mind these very real limitations that developers face, I think that my proposed solution in the next step of the video does provide some insight into how we can effectively prevent the map hack and give users back the good gaming experience they once had with Arena of Valor. Now, the first step is AoV needs to recognize and admit just how big the problem is. For those who don't realize, it's conservative to claim that there are at least thousands of accounts across all Teamy servers that actively use the map hack daily, with a substantial amount of conquerors, masters, and veteran players. It's not hard to see how badly underestimated network effects can be and how badly addressed this chain reaction was. This started with a small amount of players abusing the map hack across all servers. These map hackers taunted players, blatantly hacked, and the hackers provoked other players to the point where they themselves tried to find their own solutions against map hacking. And unfortunately, over time, most of them did become map hackers as well, as Arena of Valor failed to address the issue of map hacking for over a year. As this common knowledge of map hacking was spread, friends shared it amongst friends, and the map hack is today a universal tool in high elo rank and also commonly seen in diamond rank or below as well, and in grand battles. Although I definitely discourage and criticize the use of the map hack, part of me can also understand why so many players decided to join the dark side and use the map hack, because they simply cannot win any games without it. The enemies are constantly 3, 4, or 5-man queue with the map hack on, and they don't even care anymore. At this point in the game, I feel like the only solution that can help restore AOV to the game that it once was, to the game that it was meant to be, is for developers to take this issue seriously and ban map hackers. Now, I completely understand that developers most likely face their own limitations, such as lack of resources. However, those limitations don't erase the aftermath of ignoring such a severe problem. Just how big are the consequences? Well, firstly, an entirely new meta has developed due to the map hack, a meta that's completely different and irrelevant from the AWC, from pro play, and from patches. I find myself asking the question, what's the point of spending so much time balancing out the game, tweaking enchantments, only for Butterfly to blind ult you in the bush while you're recalling without any vision because Butterfly is using the map hack? And this happens in 95% or probably more of every single match that players play on the Asia server alone. Therefore, the overall excitement when it comes to changes in AOV are minimal for most players at best. Players have little to look forward to besides the new hero and new skin releases. However, due to the widely spread usage of the map hack, many heroes are deemed unplayable, so players are discouraged to purchase skins for squishy heroes that are virtually impossible to play against map hackers like Crixie or Yorn, unless the player themselves are hacking as well. In an environment like this, it leaves little room for the good behaving player who wants to play the game fair and enjoy learning the game and improving their skill. Next, to a lot of new players, why buy skins and the codex in the first place? There's little benefit to mastering particular heroes, and it's almost impossible to play the game against a queue of hackers who, instead of focusing on macro, game decisions, or hero interactions, just use the map hack, flicker into the bush, and full combo you as you're recalling, or in the middle of a roam. It's incredibly difficult to enjoy the game when you constantly die with no clear reason and rarely get to have the feeling that you did well in the game. In an environment like this, game knowledge becomes close to completely irrelevant, and it becomes very difficult for players to develop the kind of passion that old players once had for Arena of Valor. The same players who once thought it was worth it to purchase the skins before don't anymore, and the new players leave the game in frustration as they discover how unregulated Teamy servers are when it comes to the map hack. With many of them close to neighboring Garena servers, they move there to Garena instead, or they quit AOV completely to move to Wild Rift and other games, even if they believe that Arena of Valor is a more entertaining game. Worst of all, there's an increasing trend of Garena server players who openly move to Teamy servers specifically to use the map hack to reach high ranks in Teamy servers because it's easier, because they can team up and openly hack without any consequences. An example of this includes not only Teamy's Asia server but also Teamy's EU server. The unfortunate consequence of this situation is that it's a win-win for Garena while a lose-lose for Teamy. The reason for this is players who were formerly playing on Teamy server and were tired of facing map hack enemies decide to go quit the Teamy servers and play Garena servers only. Simultaneously, players whose main accounts are still on Garena server decide out of the blue to come to Teamy servers where map hacks are openly allowed, and they dominate and ruin the balance of Teamy servers with 5Q map hacks. And then, when they're bored, they leave the Teamy servers and go back to their Garena servers. In this way, Garena servers are gaining new users from Teamy servers, while Teamy servers are constantly losing users due to the endless cycle of the map hack. Now, keep in mind that I don't mean to say in any shape or form that all players from Garena who come to Teamy servers have malicious intentions or are map hackers for sure. I was simply describing a scenario that many other AOV players from Teamy servers and I have noticed over the past year. This has no doubt caused substantial losses in key performance indicators such as lifetime value per user, retention rate, and the average revenue per user. Despite all of this, there is still a remaining loyal fan base of the game with people such as myself. And we're waiting for the day that we can play the game once again and enjoy it in a way that's most fun, which is in a fair and competitive environment. I think that Arena of Valor would be surprised at how many hackers hack nowadays because they're sick and tired of being jumped on in the bush without any vision and losing hard-earned stars through no fault of their own, and not because they actually want to play the game with the map hack. This is an important factor, as even after anti-map hacking policies were to be implemented, the overwhelming majority of the current Arena of Valor Teamy server player base would not decline. In fact, I believe that after these policies are implemented, that players who have already given up on the game due to the map hack are willing to come back, and existing players will be more inclined to spend money on the game. This is why I worked hard to provide a solution that I'm now going to mention, and I believe that this solution is incredibly cost-effective and even profitable in hopes of getting the game that we once loved back. Note that if the hack continues to spread at this exponential rate, it's quite clear to me what the majority of the remaining users will continue to do, especially if the users are outside of the top 5% of the ranking leaderboard. They're going to decide to quit the game because the game will no longer be a game that is dependent on factors such as mechanics, hero interactions, macro game decisions, and anything related to map sense. Please, if anyone from Arena of Valor is listening, I hope that you'll take my suggestions and hear my feedback from the genuine perspective of a player who has loved Arena of Valor for over 4 years. Now, what is this solution that I'm proposing? Well, the map hack utilizes a repackaged APK and OBB version of Arena of Valor to easily spread this modified version to as many people as possible through downloads on the internet. Thus, an overwhelming majority of players aren't using customized mods, but the same set of mods over and over again being distributed from a few vendors, all publicly known through Googling Arena of Valor map hack. This makes it convenient to develop sufficient countermeasures detecting these modded versions, since the majority of users are using the same versions. This is seen through the Garena server, as map hacks are automatically banned as soon as the system detects the user with a commonly modded version of the game. However, perhaps the C-suite at AOV Teamy servers might have thought that unlike Garena, they won't be able to have a dedicated cybersecurity or network developer, and a hacker can simply remod the game through each new version or patch update of AOV, thus making ban waves not as effective. Although this is a fact, that doesn't change the fact that you can't heavily extinguish the influence of hacks by thinking a little outside of the box. Currently, each month, events are changed, from L'Oreal codes to Feast of Roses and to new codex updates with patch changes in between. You may see that in these cases you automatically download the content and are already logged into the game upon opening the application. All AOV needs to do is develop a countermeasure for specific versions of the publicly repackaged hack mods and randomize adding in the source code with the automatic hack detecting countermeasures to these mini patches. To make it clear, we just had the beta 32 patch update, and the new map hack versions have already come out 2 hours after the maintenance has finished. On the next mini patch, add the hack detecting countermeasures quietly without making a public announcement until after the map hack ban wave takes into effect. Then, After remodded versions appear, wait a couple of weeks and re-implement a mini patch update with a map hack ban again. Initially, ban waves will need to occur frequently, such as once every couple of weeks. But afterwards, these ban waves can occur once every 2 months in random mini patches because for the majority of hackers, the amount of accounts lost and time wasted would have superseded the desire for them to continuously remake accounts, climb the ladder from bronze to conquer, only for them to lose the account in a couple of weeks. By randomizing the addition of these countermeasures, you leave no time for the offender to log out of their account or have specific expectations of when to avoid hacking and when it's safe to use it. Therefore, if you choose to hack, you risk losing your account with thousands of rounds, your public name, all the skins you've ever purchased, and all the heroes you own. To further this effect, do not disclose the process in which you ban accounts using the map hack, leaving both the hackers trying to develop new mods and the players using the hack with the utmost confusion on predicting ban waves while maintaining the outward appearance of actively banning the map hack throughout the year. With this randomized update solution, you only need to create countermeasures for modded versions, perhaps 6 to 8 times a year, to strike fear in the hearts of every hacker that cares about their account, and thus decreasing the amount of hackers substantially as they have no way to avoid their impending doom. The amount of hackers is bound to stay consistently low if this were implemented because as much as players enjoy using the map hack, most of the players do value having access to their account even more. Players will feel extra motivated to stay clean as they know that the hackers will eventually get outed. Most of all, there's no need to hire a long-term cybersecurity developer, as this job can be done easily and be outsourced to an experienced freelance company or developer combating basic, simplistic mods as independent projects per ban wave. The proposed solution should not cost over tens of thousands per year, and I believe that it's a solution that has potential to be approved by Tencent if Tencent really understood the severity of the consequences of the map hack. You see, this is a solution similar to the Pareto principle, where a limited amount of input creates a massive effect when it comes to the output. The goal here is not to eliminate hacking as a whole, nor are the players at all expecting such a remedy, but rather to reduce the frequency to the amount that you meet a hacker perhaps 1 out of 4 games, instead of at least 1 or 2 hackers every single game in the current situation. To the player base, this would be a monumental amount of support that would completely revitalize their game, and they'll look forward to having some kind of justice against hackers who have ruined their game experience completely. Next, implement a fundraising program to let the players prove their motivation for hacking regulation. Remember the Lubu Cyber Samurai skin? Potentially, AOV could use a similar theme and call it the Cybersecurity Skins theme, similar to the Summer Bash line. AOV could make epic skins for popular heroes and make it clear to the players that these skins would be an event used to celebrate new updates to the patch to improve the game environment, such as banning the use of hacking and using part of the profit to fund cybersecurity. I think that this approach really unites the player base as well as the AOV staff, because it creates an environment where the genuine players who are trying to play the game for what it is and to be fair and maintain competitive integrity are on the same page as the AOV developers. And I think that it'll really revitalize the game in terms of the amount of player participation as well as the players' willingness to spend money on the game to support such a profitable and important cause. Additionally, I believe that the fundraising scheme using cybersecurity themed skins will provide more than enough money to cover the cost for implementing randomized countermeasure solutions for at least a year. Ultimately, there is an opportunity to pursue an effective and profitable solution to dramatically reduce map hacking utilizing the continued support of Aov'S still loyal fanbase and some creative thinking. That being said, that was the entirety of my proposed solution to the map hack in a cost-effective way, because I do understand that the Aov staff does have a lot of limitations regarding this project. I know that making this video may have come off negatively to some stakeholders in Aov, and I do apologize for anyone that I may have offended in this video. However, I ultimately do feel that it's of the utmost importance for me to raise awareness of this massive issue of hacking and promote my potential solution for it in this video. As someone who has loved Aov ever since 4 years ago, and someone who has dedicated so much of my time to learning the game, honing my skills in the game, building communities in the game, and just investing my time to share my knowledge about the game with so many other Aov players through YouTube, I genuinely feel like this issue of map hacking is the most severe issue in the entire game, and it should not be taken lightly, and it should definitely not continue to be ignored across Teamy servers. Actually, and this is, obviously going off of what I had originally written for the script, but a few days ago I was driven to a point where I actually almost deleted the game and quit Aov for good. And the reason for that was because I lost 12 consecutive ranked games on my Conqueror account on Asia server, and every single game there were more than 3 to 4 map hackers in the enemies who would flicker into the bush without any vision and full combo me and kill me, and they would group together and repeatedly do it to not only me but also my teammates, to a point where it was impossible to roam or farm or do anything, because anywhere you would go where you were alone, well, there were the enemies flickering, CCing you, and just killing you instantly. And that happened 12 games in a row. So yeah, it made me feel completely helpless, and it made me feel like all of the work I had put in to really learn the game in terms of its hero interactions, hero abilities, macro decisions, objective control, it made me feel like none of those things mattered, because it made me feel like I wasn't playing Aov anymore. And there was just no way to continue playing the game and win without joining them and becoming a map hacker, which is something that I'm unwilling to do. All in all, as someone who's loved the game passionately for the past 4 years, I genuinely hope that this video has brought awareness of the sheer severity of this issue of map hacking and win trading, especially in high elo rank games for Aov Teamy servers. All in all, I genuinely hope that this video was successful in bringing awareness of the sheer severity of this issue of map hacking and win trading, specifically in high elo rank games, to the Aov officials. I hope that Teamy server managers are able to hear what I have to say, as someone who's loved Aov since the beginning for over 4 years until today. I really hope to see some changes being made in the game to prevent map hacking, and perhaps explore the proposed solution that I've put time and effort into researching and proposing here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know that this video was a bit of a change from my normal videos, but ultimately it's a video that hits very close to home for me, and I did feel the need to make a video about this topic and share the perspective of a real and genuine player who's very passionate about Aov, about the current state of the game. As always, thank you so much for spending your time with me here today, and let me know what you think in the comments. Bye guys, see you guys next time.